part 4 of the Rovers United saga at Ewood Park tonight. This season so far, league honours have gone to Rovers, cup honours to Manchester United. The victory at Old Trafford earlier in September was Rovers' first away at United in 42 years in the league and set up the possibility of a double over United since 1931. Perhaps more importantly though is 3 league points, which would get Rovers back to winning ways after exiting both cups in the last 7 days. The first of those away at Old Trafford in the Carling Cup, Manchester United winning that semi-final second leg by 2-1 after a 1-1 draw at Ewood Park a fortnight prior. This evening, Mark Hughes makes 2 changes to the Rovers lineup that were also beaten in the FA Cup at the weekend. Back come Tugay and Ryan Nelson. Out goes Zurab Kizanishvili and Aaron McQuainer. Sir Alex Ferguson makes 3 changes. Park, Silvestri and Van Nistelrooy out. Ronaldo, Fletcher and Evra back in. We're about to get underway at Ewood Park. The referee this evening is Phil Dowd, who was the match referee at Old Trafford in September when Rovers won there to break their Premiership duck away at United. He's about to get us underway in this first half. Rovers will kick from left to right and off we go. Rovers in their home kit, the blue and white halves, white shorts, white socks. Manchester United, red tops, black shorts, black socks. Immediately United come forward right hand side. Ronaldo trying to get it into the box, he does do. Nelson's there for Rovers. Tugay under a bit of pressure from Fletcher. Fletcher robs him and Ronaldo picks up. He's back after suspension and a knee injury. Richardson, who scored 2 at the weekend, finds Rooney. It falls for Richardson in the area, tries a shot, it was looping towards goal. Brad Friedel wrong-footed for a second. He was glad to see that one go wide of his right-hand post.
Well, you'd hope Tugay would have learnt a lesson really from last Wednesday at Old Trafford when he was just caught dwelling on the ball, but he got caught again very early doors. Perhaps that'll just give him a little reminder. He really cannot dwell on the ball when it's so close to your own penalty area.
2 teams for this evening's match. We'll start with Manchester United. They've got Van der Sar in goal, a back four of Neville, Brown, Vidic and Evra. Ronaldo, Rio Ferdinand, Fletcher and Richardson playing in midfield. Sahar and Rooney up front. Rovers, Friedel in goal. Neil, Todd, Nelson and Gray in defence. Reed, Tugay, Savage, Pedersen across midfield. Cucci and Bentley up front. First your comment from Wendy Howard. Are you surprised with the Rovers lineup, or is it pretty much what you expected?
No, I thoroughly expected Ryan Nelson to come in, and Tugay, you know, at home he can be devastating with the through balls. It's just we don't want him caught dwelling on the ball in his own half. As for United, I was hoping Rooney might get a rest, because I don't think that there's only one position on the pitch that he probably can't play, and that's goalkeeper.
From Rovers' point of view, how important is tonight's match after the events of the last week, and in particular the 2 cup exits?
Obviously disappointing to go out of 2 competitions in the space of 4 days, but let's remember before that our form in the league has been exceptional. We've won 4 out of the last 5 league matches. If we can keep that going, brilliant.
Danger for Rovers though at the moment. Rooney coming forward left hand side, squares the ball to Ronaldo, edge of the box, might fancy a shot. He goes down under the challenge, appealing for a free kick and gets the decision. Rovers players surround the official, claiming that Ronaldo simply miskicked the ball, but it will be a Manchester United free kick, and it is right on the edge of the penalty area.
Well, nobody touched him. He simply kicked thin air there. It was Morten Gams Pedersen coming behind him, didn't touch him, kicked thin air, and of course went to ground in that spectacular way that Ronaldo does. He'd have missed it if it had been a balloon. He was so far off the ball.
Well, it's given Manchester United a great early opportunity. Less than 3 minutes in at Ewood Park. It's about a yard outside the edge of the penalty area. It's actually placed on that semicircle, the D on the edge of the box. It's right of centre. It's set up for a left footer. Ronaldo's there, Rooney's there, Kieran Richardson as well, who scored 2 at the weekend against Wolves and also scored against Rovers last season while on loan at West Brom, and that was a free kick as well. The boos are already echoing around Ewood Park. Rovers fans still unhappy with that decision. We've been fortunate enough to see the replay, and it's very, very generous. Remains to be seen how important that will be. Referee Phil Dowd just telling the wall to go back the 10 yards. Has been quite a wait before this decision will actually be taken. Michael Gray was spoken to by the referee. Still Phil Dowd trying to get the wall back. Richardson looks favourite to take this one. Outside the box, left-footed he strikes, he dinks it up over the wall, but I think justice is done as it floats over the crossbar.
Probably from United's perspective it was a bit too close to the goal, because he could never really get the dip on the ball, and justice is served and that ball goes hopelessly over the bar because it was a bad decision from the ref.
Well, we felt we got the rough end of the stick in terms of decision at Old Trafford last week already. One has gone against us here this evening. Rovers haven't been punished by it by any stretch, but it's certainly given the crowd a lift there. The response from them, just as Brad Friedel was taking the goal kick, I think they're certainly up for this game, aren't they? I know the players will talk down revenge, but I think that's the one word the fans are looking at. Savage now coming forward, crunched by two challenges. I think there'd been a foul on Stephen Reid just prior. I think Evra maybe stopped the Rovers midfielder coming up, and those two going eyeball to eyeball at the moment.
Well, there's definitely a bit of feeling out there on the pitch, and that's good. You obviously want passion in a game, as long as it doesn't spill over.
Well, it's fair to say both the semi-finals were combative. Maybe the events in the tunnel, although there wasn't actually too much went on by all accounts. There's still maybe a few leftovers from that. Rovers free kick at the other end. Pedersen left-footed whips in, the heads go up, blocked by one man inside the area. Bentley tries to turn, blocked by a red shirt, and finally Evra clears up towards halfway. Pedersen will in turn go all the way back to Brad Friedel, who's had such a splendid evening at Old Trafford last week, saving Ruud van Nistelrooy's penalty, only beaten in the end by a wicked shot from Louis Sahar that was horribly mishit. The term Brad used was a shank. Such a cruel way for Rovers to go out the cup in the end. Cucci holds the ball up well against Wes Brown. Infield he goes towards Fletcher. Two guy now robs him with the ball, and Pedersen is coming forward. Swiss turns, but it's got stuck under his feet, and Darren Fletcher picks up. Gray is tight to Ronaldo, far side. Ronaldo tries to go past him, does do so. He's left Gray for dead. Two guys slides in though, gets a good tackle for Rovers, and it's out for a Manchester United throw.
I think there's nothing more upsets a crowd than a player who dives, and that is probably why Ronaldo is not particularly popular around the grounds of this country. He's a very, very talented boy, but if he can cut that out of his game, then all well and good. But fans do not like to see that.
He gets frustrated though, doesn't he? I know he was sent off in the Manchester derby a couple of weeks ago, hence why he missed the semi-final second leg last week. He also had a bit of a knee injury, which meant he missed the weekend cup tie at Wolves. But he's someone who is temperamental, to say the very least, and it's noticeable that Rovers trying to get in quickly to him and try and upset his rhythm. Van der Sar at the other end, a little upset by a back pass that wasn't the easiest to deal with, and he's cleared the ball out near side for a Rovers throw. Just over 6 minutes gone, it remains Rovers 0, Manchester United 0, but there's already signs that there's a little bit of tension between these two sides here at Ewood Park. A few challenges flying in already, certainly a high tempo to this game. Rovers, of course, still without Dickoff and Bellamy. Bentley is now a full-time Rover after signing yesterday full-time from Arsenal. Got a 3.5-year deal. He's playing alongside Shevki Kucci. Sahar plays up front for United. Ruud van Nistelrooy rested this evening. He finds Gary Neville right-hand side. A high ball forward. Should be easy for Friedel, and it is inside his penalty area.
Be interesting to see what Shevki Kucci can do against their new signing Vidic tonight, because he's untried. It's his first Premiership game, I think, isn't it?
Well, his first Premiership start. I think he was the late sub against Liverpool in the game that United won just prior to that second leg last week. But he is inexperienced at this level, at Premiership level, and got two Serbian-born men. I know Shevki is a Finnish international, but he was born in Kosovo. Vidic is a Serbia and Montenegro international. You would think that's one of the areas that Mark Hughes has highlighted.
I hope so. Yes, I'm sure they will have done, because it's not easy for any player making his full debut at this level. Savage
for Rovers, the man at the centre of that storm at Old Trafford in the tunnel. Storm in a teacup, there's nothing happened. Ronaldo now comes back in field, finds Richardson. He picks out Fletcher, playing on his 22nd birthday. A drilled deep ball in towards Sahar. Neil heads down and away. Reid picks up. There's space in front of him, but he's still only midway inside his own half. It's chipped over the top towards Cucci. Flagged offside. That was a very, very close decision. Great ball from Stephen Reid had it happened. If he'd have just been able to hold his run for half a yard there, you think he would have been directing on goal.
He's in a nice spell of form, Stephen Reid, again, isn't he? Had a good game last Wednesday at Old Trafford.
Just look at the first goal at West Ham at the weekend as well. It was his driving run that set up the opener after just 27 seconds. United come forward. Sahar with a header from just inside the penalty area from Evra's cross. He is a danger man against Rovers. 10 appearances against the men in blue and white, and he's scored 6 times, including in both legs of that semi-final.
Well, they're finding quite a bit of space, United, when they break forward, which is a little worrying.
Gray finding space as he goes forward towards Cucci. Blocked by Brown, who's a very accomplished central defender, someone who's been really hit by injuries throughout his career, including a couple of cruciate knees. He's played it forward. Again, there's another foul on Ronaldo inside the centre circle. He shakes his head disapprovingly, gets the decision from the referee, and United get us back underway. Fletcher finds Rio Ferdinand, normally a centre half, but of course playing centre midfield at the moment. United without Alan Smith tonight. He's suspended. A couple of other injuries as well, and Ferdinand now comes forward, left hand side of midfield, squares the ball back to the edge of the penalty area. Nelson cuts out for Rovers. He's recalled to the starting lineup tonight. Rovers look forward, but Cucci was back helping the defence. Reid finds himself in a bit of a corner and has given it away. Ferdinand wins it back. Evra tries to squeeze it down the line towards Richardson. Neil atones for his earlier mistake, and Savage returns it to the Australian. Rovers having a bit of the ball, but having to play with it in a very tight area at the moment. A risk of being caught. Two-guy finds Savage, finally turns away from a couple of red shirts and plays it all the way back to Brad Friedel. He'll now look long upfield towards Cucci. Evra misses the header, and it will go straight through to his opposite number, Edwin van der Sar. Who's the balance of power with going into this game? It's an interesting one. As we say, the two games in the League Cup, there wasn't a great deal between them, but have United just got the edge because they sneaked through in that second leg? I
think so. They sort of shaded it, and on general form at the moment they're scoring quite a few goals. Sahar in particular is looking very dangerous, isn't he? And Rooney, well, he's a whole team in one guy.
Not scored for 8 games though.
Don't say that, please.
Wayne Rooney.
I know that, he's in my fantasy team.
Sahar, who's normally the scourge of Rovers, miscontrols on the far side, and it's out for a Rovers throw. Just over 10 minutes gone, remains 0-0 here at Ewood Park. Rovers currently 8th in the Premiership table. Victory today and other results going their way could see them leapfrog Bolton. Manchester United will be second at the end of play. They're 4 points ahead of Liverpool, 14 points behind Chelsea though. Another free kick to United on halfway. This time Ryan Nelson climbing all over the back of Sahar, who's got 8 goals this season, just one of them in the Premiership.
Interesting as well that Ruud van Nistelrooy, who's on the bench tonight, is the leading contender for the Golden Boot. He's got 16 goals this season.
What a luxury to have. Rovers were speaking about how they're really bereft of attacking options. Of course, we've got Florent Cinema Pongole to add into the equation from the weekend, hopefully, but he was ineligible for today's game, didn't sign in time. Neil coming forward from fullback, plays it into the feet of Cucci. Evra slides in well, and it's picked up by Brown. Neil then strongly in against Evra. Evra slides in again, but the Australian just a bit too strong. Two-guy takes over. A forward ball towards Reid, again congested. Look forward towards Cucci. Savage tries to laze it towards the Finnish striker. Appeals that he was fouled. The referee doesn't agree, and it's out for a United throw. It's only a bit of niggle, and even Mark Hughes already out toward the edge of his technical area, just appealing to the referee.
Well, you know, you're looking for a level playing field, aren't you?
It's very unlike Mark, what he said after the game, after the semi-final. He's normally very calm and composed. A forward ball towards Rooney. I think he knew he was offside there. The first thought was to look over at the assistant, and he was greeted by the sight of the flag being raised.
He's lost weight in his time at Old Trafford, hasn't he, Rooney? Because when he first joined from Everton, it was, I suppose you'd call it baby fat, but it's all muscle and power now.
He is some player, isn't he? And Sahar flicks it on towards Rooney. He might have a chance to run at the Rovers defence now. He's one-on-one with Ryan Nelson. Holds the ball up. Two-guy gets back to help Rovers, and he does well there. Wins the ball back and then feeds it towards Brad Friedel. Rolls it out towards Lucas Neal. He'll now need to clear under pressure from Kieran Richardson. It goes high in the air. Forces Neal back. Second chance to clear. This one's a high one. Might just drift out of play near side. It does do. It's a Manchester United throw. Well, the away side have just had that little bit more composure in the opening exchanges here, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly had more attacks and have looked dangerous when they break. But, you know, when you've got... How much does their strike force cost? Rooney and Sahar?
You've probably
compare
got the best
it to
part
ours.
40 million there, haven't you?
Well, look at the difference. You'd expect them to have perhaps a percentage of pressure tonight.
United free kick, handball's been given against Robbie Savage. Another harsh decision. Evra plays it in. Rooney will rise with a header. It's from about 14 yards, so you have to get some power on it to test Brad Friedel, and ultimately you can't. It's wide and behind for a Rovers goal kick. Rovers, as we say, have been great form in the Premiership of late. Second in the Premiership's last 6 current form table with 13 points from a possible 18. Only Chelsea have taken more, and here at Ewood Park it's been really where Rovers have been strong this season. 5 out of the last 7 have been won here in the league. Ronaldo trying to do something about that, whips the ball in, Nelson heads high in the air, Savage is underneath that one, again it goes high in the air, he's battling away with Sahara, who takes the ball down, it goes a little bit away from him and Savage can clear it upfield. Cucci chests it down towards Bentley, trying to hold the ball up, although he has a little run at Gary Neville, then turns back and finds Michael Gray. It might suit Rovers to have a bit of possession at the moment. Another chip ball forward towards Cucci, tried to head it back in field towards Savage, who'd made a good run. Still not scored for Rovers. How he would dearly love to break that dock here this evening. Quick throw towards Bentley, left hand side, plays a high cross in, Savage is underneath that one, he heads it down, just a bit too close to Van der Sar, wasn't it? It was a great idea, I just don't really think that Cucci had read that one. That was Rovers' first real half chance of the game though. A loose back pass from Tugai and Todd now has to go back towards goal. Nelson comes across and gets in there for Rovers. Rooney was waiting to pounce. Worrying moment though for Rovers, and it came from absolutely nothing. Ronaldo now coming forward, he's gone past Gray, he just sticks out his right foot, brings him down, and it will be a United free kick.
Yeah, no arguments over that one. It was the magical step over, just confused Michael there.
You can't blame him, can you? I think it sends everyone inside the ground dizzy. The only one who actually knows what he's doing is Ronaldo, and I'm not even convinced he does half the time. Like a show pony, isn't he?
A few rosettes on his mantelpiece, isn't there?
Yeah. It's a United free kick, which Ronaldo initially went forward for and has now come back to take. He sent Vidic forward and it's whipped in. Sahar flicks it on towards Vidic, appeals for handball. In fact, the offside flag has gone up. The referee has finally seen it, so it will be a Rovers free kick. Just I know we mentioned the Rovers lineup at the start of the game and said, were you surprised by it? He said no. Is that part of the problem at the moment, that we're not able to change things about? There wasn't really anything we could do different tonight to try and, I don't know, try and confuse United in some way.
Well, I think you have to look at the bench, and we've got two youngsters there, Sergio and Jamal. Aaron McQuain, Brett obviously who's very experienced, but that is the limit of it, isn't it, with as far as attacking options go, with Emerton, Johnson and Peter.
Vidic chest down, lovely back heel there from Richardson towards Ferdinand, who'd initially given the England international the ball. Good challenge comes in from the Rovers man, it's out for a United throw, which Evra will take. 10 yards inside the Rovers half, he's got gloves on. Let's have a couple of the United players, one of those is Rooney, and he's returned the ball towards Evra. French left fullback, played forward, Nelson chest down, it was an important interception. Todd, captain for Rovers again this evening, as he always is when he's in the starting 11. Reed plays it forward, Vidic goes down on his knees to get that one, just about does so, and in the end it falls for him. He's a little bit fortunate to get away with that one. Fletcher now spreads it towards Ronaldo. Every time he gets the ball he looks a threat because he's direct and he runs straight at Gray. Cucci gets an important touch for Rovers. Gray is under pressure. Nelson comes away with the ball. Better from Rovers. Much better covering and great stuff from Shefki Cucci, who chased about 40 yards to get back there. Neil looks down the right hand side towards Bentley. Evra gets a touch, forces it back. It's picked up by Andy Todd. He takes over with Ryan Nelson, who looks for the diagonal ball towards Cucci, who's just peeled off Gary Neville. Takes it down, he's got options with Gray left hand side. Bentley trying to get inside the area, blocked by Vidic. Again Cucci goes for it. Brown clears from outside, from just inside his own box. Gray now forced backwards. Heads it down the line towards Nelson. Just about keeps the ball in far side. He'll now look square and then shies away from that. Again goes forward towards Cucci. Brown tries to go round him to get the ball, can't do so, and Cucci lays it off. Picked up by Savage, who's particularly desperate to impress in this game. Neil will go back in field, find Tugai. Noticeable every time Tugai gets the ball, Fletcher's immediately onto him, isn't he?
Yeah, just about to mention that actually, Neil, and also in a little spell of play before that, the papers are full of how good Rio was in midfield, and he is a talented footballer. Did some nice work in that move just before this particular period of play.
You just look at that midfield and you think, well, if there is a weakness, I know they're very good players, you would think it's that area, because Ferdinand isn't a natural, and I mean, one thing he will do, no doubt, is give great cover to his back four, and then they can produce a pass like that, it will help United. It's towards Richardson left hand side, Neil showing him towards the corner flag. That was a foul on the Rovers man, but Neil comes away with the ball anyway, and play continues. Cucci on halfway, it's chipped forward towards the Finney, just tried to use his thigh, I think, there to help it towards Morten Gamst Pedersen, who's seen virtually none of the ball in this match so far. Chip right by Fletcher towards Ronaldo. Looks for the early cross in towards Sahar. Headed away by Nelson. It's back out to the far side as we look. The United right. Fletcher might now try to get the ball in. Does do. That one's too close to Brad Friedel, and it's comfortable for the Rovers keeper.
It's just coming back a bit too quick, isn't it? When we do get possession, we're not holding on to it long enough.
Reid with a poor back pass, and Rooney tries to sneak beyond Andy Todd. He just hadn't seen Wayne Rooney at all there, and it's straight into his path. It's a good job that Rooney actually had to try and turn around there, and that gave Andy Todd the time to come back. And Rooney played it against the Rovers captain. It's behind for a Manchester United corner, but that's a couple of times now Rovers have nearly been caught by back passes. Rooney will take the corner, whipped into the middle, the heads will go up. Sahar tries to chest down inside the penalty area. Two-guy picks up for Rovers. Now he's looking longer over the top. It's a ball down towards Savage, and it might be a break on here for Rovers. He looks left-hand side, asking a lot of Cucci, who's in a straight race with Gary Neville. Neville comes across, gets an important touch on the ball, and it brings to an end what was a pretty promising Rovers attack.
A delightful ball from Two-guy to set Savage free around the centre circle. He just got too much on that ball for Cucci.
I hate to say it, but that was crying out for the pace of Bellamy, wasn't it? Hopefully it won't be too long before we see Craig Bellamy back in action, making slow but steady progress from this hamstring injury that's kept him out the last couple of games, and important games they were for Rovers as well. Savage looks forward towards Cucci, can't take the ball in his stride. Again, it was maybe half a yard off target, and the Finn adds a stretch. As I say, couldn't control the ball, and it's gone out for a United throw. 20 minutes gone at Ewood Park. It's still Rovers 0, United 0, and really we've yet to see Rovers put a decent bit of attacking play together. Nelson, who's had a few nervy moments against Sahar and Rooney, but United again haven't really had that one clear-cut opportunity. It's played forward, Bentley takes over, he's now running up against Wes Brown. He tries to get the cross, and it's underneath the crossbar, and in the end Van der Sar collected. He was under pressure from Robbie Savage. He did well to hold on to that one, 'cause it was one of those awkward ones where you never quite know what's going to happen. And it's a good take from the Dutch international.
Yeah, just floating under that crossbar, wasn't it? And Robbie Savage was our furthest man forward in that attack.
Van der Sar now plays it forward. Nelson wins the header, picked up by Gary Neville, who's very much in the news at the moment for his goal celebration against Liverpool in United's last Premiership match. He's been charged with misconduct by the FA. And subsequently, the United players have decided not to do any television interviews for a week. It's a novel approach to showing their displeasure.
Some would say it was a childish approach, but who am I to say?
Friedel kicks forward. Fletcher can't take that one in his stride. Pedersen takes down. He nutmegs Fletcher, and it will be a Rovers free kick. It's greeted with ironic cheers by the Rovers crowd. Midway inside the United half, Two-guy plays it short and quickly to Savage. Receives the ball back, and then it's low into the feet of Cucci, who's always trying to make himself available. Not really matching it with any end product at the moment. Ronaldo now coming forward for United. It might be a break 3-on-2. He's looking to feed it through to Rooney. He comes in field on his own and tries a shot. It's only a couple of yards wide. You can always tell by a goalkeeper's reaction whether they're worried. Brad Friedel just stood and watched that one, and it went just past his right-hand post.
It's annoying because it's poor play by Rovers in United's half of the pitch that led to that attack. Really was sloppy play from Two-guy and Cucci.
As I say though, there are not too many options for Rovers. They kind of just have to hope that things click on the night. So far they haven't done, although it remains goalless here at Ewood Park. Under the circumstances, maybe that wouldn't be so bad. Ronaldo looking to change that, comes forward for United. He goes past Pedersen, who just gets a touch on the ball. Again, Ronaldo goes down all too easily, and Pedersen has words. Rovers misplaced yet another pass. Just not been able to build anything at the moment, and it's so frustrating for both players and fans alike. Neil cuts that one out. Two-guy just moves away from Rooney. It's again in a tight area though. Savage picks up, finds Two-guy. Immediately he's caught by Sahar, who was sliding in, and it will be a Rovers free kick. Just looks like they're trying to overplay at the moment.
Getting caught and giving the ball away just puts enormous pressure on your back four all the time.
Is that a sign that we're perhaps not too confident in the front two we've got? A long ball forward towards those at the moment. It comes off Vidic. It's going to be out for a Rovers throw far side.
I don't know if that's totally the case. I just think it's perhaps knowing the quality of the opposition a little bit.
Too much respect?
Not too much respect, but it's just in the back of the mind a little bit.
A long throw from the left, which Pedersen takes. It's high into the air. Cucci will battle away. It's come off a Manchester United man, and it's behind for Rovers' first corner of the night. Well, this could be one area for Rovers to exploit. They're sending all the big men forward. When you've got the likes of Cucci, Nelson, Todd will go in there as well. Bentley stands just in front of the goalkeeper. Reed's in there as well for Rovers. Pedersen left-footed takes, not the best of deliveries, again cut out pretty much at the near post by Gary Neville, up towards halfway. Neil takes a touch and then immediately it goes long towards Pedersen, arcing in from the left-hand side, falls edge of the box for Reed, helped back over the top, Brown inside his own penalty area, Neville just heads away. I think David Bentley just a split second late on that one. It was inviting the attacker, one of those you have to go for. But it's good defending in the end by the England international and the United captain, and he's won his side a free kick.
He just jumped on the back of Gary Neville a little bit, didn't he, there? It's interesting looking down at the Rovers substitutes warming up, and doesn't Jamal look a bit like, you know who I'm going to say, don't you? Florent Cinema Bongol.
You mean with the dreadlocks?
Mm.
There's definitely a similarity between the two. Rooney tries to go over the top, appeals for a free kick for United. That had been overplayed, and I think Todd has just caught the United man who is Kieran Richardson, and the referee might actually call him over here. Andy Todd, believe it or not, until this moment. We'll see if he does get booked, but he hasn't actually had a yellow card this season.
Just the other colour.
Yes. Well, the referee calling him over, he's having a word.
Well, I thought he turned into that more than anything, but
again though, United look threatening every time they come forward, don't they?
Perhaps not. Perhaps I gave Andy the benefit of the doubt there.
Well, the referee having a long word with him. I think he's decided in the end that it's not worthy of a yellow card, which is quite sensible refereeing. Mr. Dowd, who I mentioned at the start, had the reverse fixture at Old Trafford. One of those referees that does have a bit of a reputation for flashing the cards around, but so far in this match has been happy to keep them in his pocket. Sent off 3 men in 15 matches so far this season.
Well, that was more than a long chat, wasn't it? It was almost like a meeting.
Well, Richardson has got straight back up. He writhed around for a good few seconds, but doesn't look to be in any pain at the moment. It's given United a free kick, which is about 30 yards out. It's dead centre of goal, and this is an awkward one for the goalkeepers, because you never know which side they might go. It's Ronaldo, the man who stood over this one. Portuguese international. Maybe a chance here to test Brad Friedel. He steps up, he plays it towards goal. It's blocked by Cucci, who I think has come out too quickly for the liking of the referee. And after saying he likes to keep the cards in his pocket, this will be the first yellow card of the evening. And I think again it's the first of the season for Shevki Cucci.
He has actually committed the most fouls in the Premiership without a card, Shevki, this season. Would you like to hazard a guess?
Well,
on my sheet here.
how many?
36. Mick, 37.
Well, I suppose he can still lay claim to that, can't he? Because that wasn't a foul. That was just breaking from the wall too quickly. He's given Ronaldo another chance. He's had one sighter. Let's see how he does with this second attempt. Again, the referee just making sure everybody's back the full 10 yards. Kieran Richardson is back on for United. Ronaldo up and over the wall, straight down the centre of goal, and in the end pretty comfortable for Brad Friedel. It's a much better second attempt, and at least it tested the Rovers goalkeeper. It was always comfortable for Brad. And a grimace from the United winger. I think he felt it was closer to scoring than perhaps everyone else in the ground thought. He's been a thorn in Rovers' side so far. Rovers at the other end haven't really been able to test United. That's handball against Everett. Stephen Reid appeals that there was a high elbow there as well. We saw last night there was Jason Roberts of Wigan penalised for a flailing arm.
And then Duncan Ferguson's impression of Ricky Hatton.
It's one of those classic moments, isn't it? Rovers take the free kick quickly, and it's allowed an low overlap for the minute. Whipped in by Neil. Todd rises, but he's beaten in the air. Ronaldo back inside his own box, heads it back to Gary Neville. Appeals for handball by the Rovers crowd. Neville has to hack that one away. He looks rather ruefully at his wide man in front of him and says, I didn't really want that one. It's out for a Rovers throw. 28 minutes gone. It's still Rovers 0, Manchester United 0. United have shaded the game so far without really testing Brad Friedel to any great extent. Rovers at the other end just haven't tested Van der Sar. Bentley coming forward as Brown behind him twists and turns away from him and will now square it towards the edge of the penalty area, headed away by Evra. Richardson takes down and immediately looks forward towards Sahar, and United are on a break. That looked like handball against Ronaldo. Play goes on. Rooney is right hand side. It's 3-on-3 for a minute. Chip ball towards Sahar, edge of the box, he hits it towards goal, and it's just wide of Brad Friedel's left hand post. Well, Rovers exposed there, 3-on-3, great ball from Rooney. Sahar, admittedly with his wrong foot, tried to hook it into the bottom corner, just flashed past the far post.
A lightning break from United with Ronaldo doing the damage in the centre of the park, out to Rooney. And a nice cross again from Rooney, but thankfully this time Sahar just put it wide.
That was a chance, probably the best of the game, that one, wasn't it? It was an escape for Rovers, and it was Sahar again.
Yeah, put Rude on.
Well, Rovers just struggled. Half of me would have preferred Van Nistelrooy. Rovers battling away at the other end, still looking to come forward. Bentley wins a throw off Evra, which Reid wants to take quickly. Stephen Reid, of course, who scored at Old Trafford a week ago. It's down towards Neil, back to Bentley, who's gone back right hand side, looking to move away from Sahar. Not the best of deliveries in, headed away by Rio Ferdinand. Neil takes down, immediately under pressure from Richardson. Again a misplaced pass. Rooney is trying to move away from Tugay. Tugay has just clipped his heels, and this will be a second yellow card in quick succession for Rovers, and the former Turkish international goes into the book of Phil Dowd.
Well, I have to say I didn't really see that as a booking, but Rovers have given the ball away at least half a dozen times, needlessly, carelessly tonight. Put themselves under great pressure.
I think that one there might have been because United were trying to start a break. It was maybe a little bit more, he knew what he was doing kind of thing, a cynical foul. Brown with a free kick from 10 yards inside the United half. It looks for the far side, and Ronaldo jumps with Michael Gray or Morton Pedersen. Neither of them make contact on the ball, so it's out for the Rovers throw. What will Mark Hughes make of the opening half an hour here at Ewood Park?
He'll be a little concerned about the amount of possession United have had, now dangerous they are when they're coming forward, and the fact that we have put a lot of the pressure on ourselves.
Bentley, that's a better ball towards Savage, right on the halfway line. Again, Ferdinand was snapping in at him for United. It's back through to Van der Sar, left-footed, kicks upfield. Sahari's got a tremendous leap on him, hasn't he? He got up above Ryan Nelson. Rooney has taken it away from Tugay, and now he tries to go past Todd. It was an important touch from the Rovers captain. Ronaldo miscontrols on the far side. Gray in strongly for Rovers. Pedersen goes in as well, and Pedersen has done well. Gray will play it against Ronaldo, and it's out for a Rovers throw. Much to the delight of the home crowd here, who appreciated that bit of just sheer determination to try and win the ball back.
It's good work down that side, especially from Michael Gray and Pedersen, just blocking out Ronaldo.
Gray takes the throw down the line. It goes above the head of Cucci. Bentley in there for Rovers. Again, he didn't really jump for the ball. It was more into the United man. It's another free kick for the away side. You don't want to say it's constant pressure, but United are having an awful lot of the ball, aren't they?
They certainly are, and Rovers can't get any concerted pressure at the other end. It's sort of fits and starts, really, isn't it?
Square ball from Neville towards Brown. Tugay gets a good foot in for Rovers. Now there might be a chance to start a break. Pedersen's ball was looking for Bentley. Headed high in the air by Neville. Ferdinand again gets there ahead of Savage. Fletcher picks up. He tries to go square towards Rooney. Nelson's come and doesn't get anything of the ball. Stephen Reid had read the danger. Did very well for Rovers. And then Sahar's back in there for United. Savage picks up now. Scrappy play here. Rovers feeding on just loose bits at the moment. Savage now looks right towards Reid, has to come and meet the ball inside his own half. Again it's back towards Todd, putting him under a bit of a pressure, just chipped down the line. Neil turns away from that one, it's bouncing around, no one goes for the ball. Savage helps forward, Bentley gets a touch, it comes off Vidic, and it's out for a Rovers throw. I think Rovers just need a few moments inside the United half.
Well, they're not being able to rest on the ball, are they, because United are pressing so strongly.
Todd, the Rovers captain, again asking for options forward. There isn't a great deal there, and Todd's now gone on a run of his own. Reid has to go back though towards Neil, and Rovers being forced back towards goal. Nelson does in fact return it all the way to Brad Friedel, who's played in every single minute of every single game, League and Cup this season for Rovers. Played in all the league games last year as well. It's Fantastic run he's on at the moment. Perhaps benefiting from not having to play international football. Lovely step over from Ferdinand to take the ball away from Tugai, and he looks for Ronaldo. He miscontrols. Well, United fans were olaying at Ferdinand's trick. The Rovers fans olayed at Ronaldo's miscontrol. It's out for a Rovers throw.
Interesting quote of Sir Alex in midweek about Brad Friedel making 40 saves in the last 4 matches against Man U. I thought I'll buy him a calculator for Christmas.
Is that psychology? Trying to get at Brad?
Yeah, of course it is.
So
Trying
far,
to get up the Rovers team as well, maybe, I don't know.
well, maybe implying that his side have an awful lot of the play against Rovers. They certainly have so far here at Ewood Park. Chip free kick forward towards Kuchu, who's battling away. Was he fouled by Brown? He was always nibbling at the back of Shevki Kuchu, trying to put him off. Much better hold-up play from the Finn, though. That's what Rovers need more of in this game.
Yes, it's not been sticking, has it, when it's been played up front? And that's not particularly the front two's fault, it's some of the supply they've had.
So Rovers free kick again. It's about 30 yards out. This one's just right of centre, maybe 5 yards or so. Again, ideal for the left footer, and Morten Gamst Pedersen, 5 appearances against United, scored 3 goals. Of course, both of those at Old Trafford earlier on this season in Rovers' first victory there for 42 years. He fancies this one. The Norwegian, who also scored here in the first leg of the semi-final. Ewood Park holds its breath as Pedersen runs up, strikes the ball. It's a great one, it's off the post! Bentley for Rovers, it's in! And it owes so much to a quite brilliant free kick from Morten Gamst Pedersen. Van der Sar got a slight touch. It hit the inside of the post. David Bentley, just a day after joining the club on a permanent basis, was first to react, and he poked the ball past the Dutch international. It couldn't be cleared off the line by the United defender, and Rovers, after they've been under so much pressure in this game, take the lead 10 minutes before half-time at Ewood Park. It's Blackburn Rovers 1, Manchester United 0.
Well, yet again, Manchester United undone by the brilliance of Morten Gamst Pedersen. That was a magnificent strike, and David Bentley didn't give it up. He watched it. It was a great save from Van der Sar. It came looping out to Bentley, first time touch, and he just caught Van der Sar on his heels, and it just literally rolled over the line into the corner. But what a free kick that was again.
He does have the hoodoo over United, doesn't he? No doubt about it. And David Bentley gets his first Premiership goal for Blackburn Rovers. It's now 2 in 2 games for him after, of course, the strike at West Ham at the weekend. What a way to mark signing a permanent deal at the club. Well, after all that, you just never know in this game, do you? Rovers, who've been under the cosh really for the whole of the opening 35 minutes, get a free kick and then punish Manchester United in clinical fashion.
They have been under the cosh, but there again, Brad Friedel, although he hasn't really been forced into what you'd call a desperate save, has he? There's been a couple of free kicks into his midriff, and that's been about it. And one great chance from Saha wide.
Well, at the other end, United have been stung by that goal. They're looking for an immediate response, have won themselves a corner. So it looks as though Fletcher will take over on the far side. Ronaldo in the area, as is Ferdinand, Vidic, Brown, Richardson making a late run. Rooney's midway inside the Rovers half. It's a chip ball towards the edge of the penalty area. It might fall for Rooney. Slide comes in from Savage. Rooney strikes, parried by Friedel. Sahar's there, and Sahar will equalise for Manchester United. Rovers hold the lead for less than 2 minutes, and yet again against Rovers, it's the Frenchman Louis Sahar. The corner not properly cleared, a great strike from Rooney, a great save from Friedel, but Sahar was there left-footed from the angle left-hand side to bounce it into the ground just inside the far post, and 37 minutes gone. It's Rovers 1, Manchester United 1.
Well, if only Rovers could have kept hold of that lead. But straight away at the other end, Brad Friedel, similar to the Van der Sar, but this time out to Louis Sahar, and who does well to control the ball and force it into the net. But again, a great strike from Rooney.
Well, that's absolutely heartbreaking for Rovers, holding the lead for less than 2 minutes, and it was almost straight from the kickoff. United went forward, won the corner, and then now they've equalised. Well, let's see how this game pans out now. United with their tails up. Ronaldo looks forward. Rooney will give chase. Friedel has to go outside of his penalty area, left-footed. It's high into the air. Neville will touch the ball down towards Fletcher. Back in field he goes. Savage will get there for Rovers. Gets the ball stuck underneath his feet. Fouled though by Ronaldo, and it will be a Rovers free kick. Was there a hint of offside, or was Sahar onside there?
Not sure about that, but what I do know is a fearsome strike from the boot of Rooney. And it's just unfortunate for Brad, who punched it away, that it would land at the feet of that man who seems destined to score against us.
Now the edge of the United penalty area. This time Cucci has fouled Wes Brown. Well, in some respects you feel a little bit sorry for the goalkeepers, both of them, because for Rovers' goal, Van der Sar made a great save, and for United's goal, Friedel made a great save. And we have seen the replay, and Louis Sahar was definitely offside, and it wasn't close. It was a couple of yards as well. That is an appalling decision by the assistant referee on the far side. Well, another big decision against Manchester United that's gone against Rovers, and that will infuriate Mark Hughes. Rooney now trying to get inside the penalty area, right hand side, lays it back towards the edge of the box. Two-guy gets an important touch with Richardson trying to get in there. Neil will now look to come away with the ball. It's chipped over the top towards Cucci. Evra rises, heads it down towards Rio Ferdinand. Todd at the other end picks up. Now he looks right towards David Bentley, the Rovers goal scorer, has Evra behind him. He gets a touch on the ball. Richardson helps him out, and now Ferdinand lays it to Vidic, midway inside his own half. He's going right hand side, looking for options down the line. He's been allowed to go forward and then play the pass back in field towards Fletcher. Two-guy gets a touch. Vidic finds Rio Ferdinand, who has just done a steady job in the heart of midfield, hasn't he? Van der Sar kicks right-footed upfield from the England international's back pass. Neil trying to get past Evra. He's blocked off by the Frenchman, and it will be a Rovers free kick. And I think Mark Hughes is just suggesting there, well, why isn't that a yellow card if the Rovers players have been booked? Well, was that not worthy of one?
Similar, wasn't it, to the two-guy lunge that stopped Rooney breaking forward, and he got booked for his trouble.
The Rovers have this free kick. They took the lead in the 35th minute through David Bentley. Sahar equalised 2 minutes later. We've got 5 minutes until the break. It's 1-1 here at Ewood Park. Cucci's header. Ferdinand back towards his own goal. Bentley's in there and re-gives Rovers the lead, and it's a calamity for Rio Ferdinand. A free kick from halfway. Cucci flicked it on. Ferdinand headed it back towards goal. Van der Sar had already made his way out, and David Bentley left with the easiest of tasks to pop it over the line in the space of 5 minutes. There have been 3 goals here at Ewood Park. 2 for Rovers, 1 for United. It's Blackburn Rovers 2, Manchester United 1.
Well, full marks to David Bentley for being aware of what was happening, but it was a horrendous mix-up between Ferdinand and his goalkeeper. Ferdinand said to him, shout, let me know where you were. But Ferdinand really should have known that his keeper might have been coming for that ball. Ironic chance of Rio. Well,
if the footballing gods are looking down on Ewood Park, then there is a great sense of justice in Rovers getting that gift of a goal, because Sahar was certainly offside for United's equaliser. Rio Ferdinand in turn has gifted Rovers one at the other end, and Rovers back in front here at Ewood Park. Could be a great game in store now, couldn't it? Sahar left hand side trying to come back in field, crunching challenges from 2 Rovers men. Reed has stayed down. Savage battling away with Rooney. Sahar and Reed both still down on the ground. United continue to come forward. Fletcher lays it back towards Rio Ferdinand. Neville back square towards Ferdinand. Again he miscontrols. Reed's in there strong for Rovers. Great stuff by Rovers at the moment. Bentley now feeds Pedersen. He just played the ball forward. Reed again gives chase on Rio Ferdinand, who's having a horrible few moments. Evra goes down the line. He appeals that he was fouled by Lucas Neal. The referee agrees, but both Lucas Neal and Mark Hughes are absolutely furious, and that in turn might earn Mark Hughes a word from the referee.
I think the manager might be in for a card here.
Well, we've had the benefit of another look at the Sahar goal. I know we'll might harp on about this one, but I mean, I said a couple of yards. That's an injustice. He could well be about 5 yards offside when Rooney actually takes his shot. It's a horrible decision that's gone against Rovers. The referee decided a word with boss Mark Hughes, by the way, was sufficient enough, and plays back underway. Ronaldo far side trying to get past 2-guy, appeals for handball. It is a Rovers free kick, which all of a sudden Rovers aren't in a hurry to take.
Well, they just need to slow it down a little. The last 10 minutes have been absolutely frantic.
Well, can you believe this game's just taken off in that respect? For 35 minutes, Rovers were barely in it, and all of a sudden, in the space of, 6 minutes, they find themselves leading by 2-1. It's a great game here at Ewood Park.
Well, the fans really mocking now with the chants of Rio.
Free kick forward. Reid wins the flick on. Cucci battling against Wes Brown. Not like handball against the United man. It's gone out of play. It will be a Rovers throw. Well, United were appealing it came off Cucci. Rovers were appealing the other way. The decision in the end is just a throw. And now Lucas Neal is slowing things down. Lucas Neal waiting to take, I think this is finally going to be a word for Cucci and Brown. The referee has just halted the throw for a moment. He said to those two, just stop it. It's been a right old ding-dong battle between them in this first half. Neal throws it into the middle towards Cucci, tries to get the flick on. It comes off Brown, edge of the box. Reid rises. Pedersen trying to twist and turn. Neville's in sharply behind him and clears it upfield. Bentley, who's now on a hat-trick for Rovers, goes down the right-hand side. Tries to win a corner. He's played it into the middle, and Van der Sar comes, and this time he does shout for that one. The Rovers fans were half expectant to be another mix-up there, but Wes Brown left that, and the Dutch international picked up and now looks long upfield. 30 seconds before half-time here at Ewood Park. It's Rovers 2, Manchester United 1. Todd wins the header. Savage just pumps the ball long upfield. Rovers will be desperate to get in for half-time now. Neville puts Brown under a bit of pressure. Flick ball forward, which Rooney will give chase. Friedel has to come to the edge of his penalty area, and he heads out of play far side for a United throw. Again, looked like there should have been an offside decision given in Rovers' favour there. Ronaldo now crosses the ball in right-footed. It's overhit. It goes beyond everybody and out near side. It will be a Rovers throw.
You really can't take your eyes off this game at the moment.
There'll be a minimum of 2 minutes added at the end of this opening 45 here at Ewood Park. A pulsating opening 45 minutes. It's come to life in the final 10 minutes. Cucci flicks on from the throw. Richardson rises on Reid. Savage again helps it up towards halfway. Brown down. Savage gives chase. Ferdinand, whose error re-gifted Rovers the lead. Rooney loses out. It just helps over the top, inviting David Bentley to chase. Van der Sar comes to the edge of his penalty area. Just with his left foot flicks it back inside the box. Picks the ball up and rolls it out to Vidic, who's not had the most convincing of first Premiership starts here at Ewood. Neville, right-footed, just rolls it forward towards Richardson. Good touch from Nelson, but it comes back to a red shirt. Fletcher looks for Ronaldo on the far side, gives it back to Fletcher. Ronaldo goes to ground, claiming that he was fouled. Again, he's told to get up by the referee, and it's a bit tiresome the way he goes to ground so easily. It really is.
It's the Oscars in a month, isn't it?
A forward ball towards Sahar. Again, Nelson's in strongly for Rovers. Sahar was trying to flick it onto Richardson. Ball forward towards Bentley. He's trying to get goal side of Brown. He just tried to flick it past both him and the defender. Half given away. Reid in strongly on Everett. Two-guy picks up for Rovers, and he will look right and find Lucas Neal, who's in a bit of space. Final 30 seconds of this first half. Great chip ball forward to Reid on the right-hand side. Oh, tries to get the cross. That's off Brown's arm, and it will be a Rovers penalty. The assistant referee flags, and Rovers have a spot kick right at the end of the first half here. And again, maybe there's a sense of justice in this decision. Last week at Old Trafford, United got a dodgy one awarded against Kizanishvili. This week, Rovers had one. This one looked to be a definite penalty. It's been awarded against Wes Brown. The cross from Reid certainly struck the United defender's arm, and Rovers have a spot kick. It might be the final act of this first half. It's a great chance to go in 3-1 up.
I'll tell you what, the referee, I thought wave play on, but full credit to the assistant referee, who for once takes responsibility and puts his flag up, which was exactly the right thing to do, because if you give one the way you did at Old Trafford last week, you have to give that one. Now, is this Lucas Neal?
What an opportunity this is for Rovers, and it is Lucas Neal, the man who will take, of course, scored a penalty for Australia in their shootout victory against Uruguay that sent them to the World Cup finals. He's looking for a goal here against Manchester United, which would give Rovers a 3-1 lead. The Australian has a very short run up, unorthodox. He's left of the ball. It will only be about 2 or 3 paces, relying very much on accuracy. The whistle goes. It's Neal against Van der Sar, and Neal scores for Rovers. Sends Van der Sar the wrong way. The keeper went to the right, Neal went to the left, and at Ewood Park, A remarkable end to this first half. It's now Blackburn Rovers 3, Manchester United 1.
Well, that was a magnificent penalty from Lucas Neal. I'm not a big fan of the short run-ups, but beautiful penalty.
Well, Ewood Park just can't quite believe it at the moment, can they?
Can we go home now? Floodlight failure, perhaps not.
Well, the game gets back underway, but we are at half-time here. The ball goes forward and the referee puts the whistle to his lips, and the cheers around Ewood Park. You think that Rovers have just won the league. A game that had been so quiet for the opening 35 minutes sprung into life when Pedersen's free kick from 30 yards was saved by Van der Sar. Bentley followed up to give Rovers the lead. Just 2 minutes later, Rooney's shot was too hard to handle for Brad Friedel. Sahar, who replays have shown was offside, put the ball into the goal to equalise. On 41 minutes, an error by Rio Ferdinand gifted Rovers the lead. David Bentley got his second of the game, and then in injury time at the end of the first period, Reed's cross was handled by Wes Brown. Lucas Neal converted the subsequent penalty. Half-time at Ewood Park. It's Blackburn Rovers 3, Manchester United 1. Half time at Ewood Park, Rovers leading by 3-1. 10 mad minutes at the end of the first period, 4 goals. Rovers, though, at the beginning of this second period make a change, and Tugay, the former Turkish international, has gone off. Coming on is Brett Emerton. I'll ask Wendy Howard about that change in a moment. We're about to get underway for this second period. The referee Phil Dowell just doing the usual check of numbers, checking everything's in order. And when he gets us underway, which he does now, Rovers will kick from right to left towards the Blackburn end, leading by 3-1 in this match. We'll run down the two teams for you in a minute. Cucci immediately heads on. Bentley left hand side trying to get in. Does a step over, chip towards Cucci with a header, it goes over his head. Emerton gets his first touch, right hand side of the penalty area now. Twisting, turning away from Evra. Goes back to the scorer of Rovers' third goal, Lucas Neely. Goes infield past Kieran Richardson, and it will be a Rovers free kick. Well, Wendy Howard, who's alongside me as usual, what do you make first and foremost of the change? We'll have to break off maybe in a moment. Rovers take the free kick quickly. Reid feeds Emerton. Savage takes over. Neil lays it back to the Welshman. Former Manchester United trainee, of course, in his younger days. He chips the ball forward, and that's straight through to Van der Sar. So Emerton on for Tugay.
I can only think that it's enforced at this stage. I'm sure we might have seen Brett a little later on in the game if Tugay had been fully fit. I can only assume that he's picked up a knock of some sorts. But Rovers started the second half in great style. It's amazing what goals does to your confidence. David Bentley looks full of it now, doesn't he?
Of course, Tugay was booked in the first half. The change does mean that Rovers have shuffled the midfield around a bit, and Stephen Reid will now go and sit in the centre. Brett Emerton plays the orthodox right wing role. Maybe Rovers just having a little extra defensive option, making sure they have that extra bite in midfield. Bentley, the scorer of 2 goals, comes forward, he's challenged well. Reid takes over, feeds Emerton, urged to cross the ball in, he does do so, headed away by Wes Brown, forced for Reid, urged to shoot, decides against that and goes right towards the man who scored 2 goals for Rovers. Bentley whips the cross in, it's over the head of Ferdinand, again Brown's there for Manchester United. Gray takes over, heads back in field, Reid will get there ahead of Rooney and chips it over him. Todd takes over. I get the feeling Rovers' central defenders could be crucial in the second half. Great ball forward towards Bentley, just lacked a little bit of pace, allowed Evra to slide in and get a touch. It's out though for a Rovers throw.
You just get the feeling that United are not too comfortable with Vidic at the back, and it wouldn't surprise me if Ferdinand, who is now the favourite man on this park for the Rovers fans, as far as the Rovers fans are concerned, drops into the back 4 at some stage.
Todd chip forward, again looking down the right hand side. Lucas Neely started this second half like a right winger. His cross takes a deflection off Evra, falls comfortably for Van der Sar. Ferdinand in possession, faced by 2 Rovers men. Again he overruns that one. Savage in strong, it's come off the United man, and it's out for a Rovers throw. And you get the impression, the way things stand, every single tackle, every single pass that finds a blue and white shirt will be cheered in this second half. Gray with a throw down the left hand side. Another one who started his career at Manchester United before 14 years at Sunderland. Down the line he goes. Neville half heads away, straight back to Gray. This one's out of play. It will be a Manchester United throw. The two sides, Rovers line up in goal with Brad Friedel. The back 4 of Neil, Todd, Nelson, Gray. The midfield is now Emerton, Reid, Savage, Pedersen. Up front, Cucci and Bentley. Manchester United have Van der Sar in goal, a back 4 of Neville, Brown, Vidic and Evra, Ronaldo, Ferdinand, Fletcher and Richardson in midfield, Sahar and Rooney up front. Another long ball forward which Cucci willingly gives chase to. He looks invigorated now, doesn't he? All of a sudden it's a different Rovers side. Neville forward towards the United goal scorer Sahar, although a huge slice of luck with it because he was so far offside, it was almost unbelievable. He feeds Fletcher, back towards Sahar, overruns that one, goes down appealing for a free kick. Gray comes away with it for Rovers, finds Emerton, he has to go back, away from Richardson, does well, twists, turns, now looks forward, finally goes square to Pedersen, just down the left hand side, inviting Rovers and Kucha to chase. Vidic is there, not looking too comfortable, he slides in, and was that handball against Vidic? A Rovers appeal, the referee doesn't agree, and now he's in a bit of a hole. He's done well just to squeeze that through to Neville on the right hand side. Down the line he goes, cut out by Pedersen. Rovers much the hungrier of the two sides at the moment. Savage slides in, the ball goes forward, and Rio Ferdinand is just a touch late on Robbie Savage, and it will be a Rovers free kick. And Robbie Savage immediately turns towards the Blackburn fans and says, raise the roof, really turn the screw on Manchester United.
Well, Rovers have just played a couple of really good balls down the channels, and that's really what they didn't do in the first half, and yet went in at half time 3-1 up. But if they can keep possession of that ball the way they've started in the second half, then And no panic, that's the key word, no panic.
Free kick which Savage takes, not the greatest of deliveries, headed away by Neville. Gray goes back down towards the left hand side to Savage. Bentley twists, turns, flicks it over his head, a bit too intricate, and he's given the ball away. Ronaldo takes over, now looking to come forward, pressured by Savage, and now Pedersen is there on Rooney, down towards Fletcher. He's caught a little bit late by Pedersen. United carry on in possession, so play goes on. Fletcher finds Ferdinand, cheered by the Rovers fans every time he gets the ball. It was his mistake, a horrible mistake for the second goal, which David Bentley gleefully converted. And David Bentley had only got 2 goals for Rovers before tonight. He got 2 in the space of 6 first half minutes, just a day after joining permanently as well. But he's pinching himself, isn't he? Richardson, who's been largely ineffective in this match so far, throws his arms up in the air. He's crying out for some service. He wants some runners for United. It goes right towards Neville, down towards Ronaldo, back with the United captain, the England international. Ferdinand takes over. Again the cheers. Chip ball towards Sahar, who heads down. Rooney inside the area is onside. Great save by Brad Friedel. And that could be a massive moment in this match. Just 6 minutes into the second half, Sahar with the header down. Rooney had just ghosted him behind the Rovers defence, and left-footed he struck from about 12 yards. It was a wonderful save by Brad Friedel.
Well, it's a fantastic save, but the Rovers defence was stood still appealing for offside, and I don't think Rooney was offside. He really should have buried it though, Wayne Rooney. Should have given Brad no chance.
Dare I say it, is that a man who's a touch short on confidence?
I don't think it's confidence. I don't think you can accuse Wayne Rooney of being short on confidence. I just think it was, you know, a poor piece of finishing, really.
Neil for Rovers looks down the right hand side and finds Emerton, who's made a great run. Everett is very, very quick though, and he slides in again with a challenge, puts the ball over the touchline on the far side. It's out for a Rovers throw.
Well, poor piece of finishing, but you know, full credit to Brad. Reaction save, tremendous.
Well, you wonder just how long Manchester United will leave this before Ruud van Nistelrooy comes on. You can't imagine the way things stand, it'll be too long. Neil, left-footed, chips in towards the back post. Pedersen tries to take down. He's now trying to get wrong side of Gary Neville. I think he's just fouled the Manchester United man, sort of with a free kick to the visitors. And Rovers 3-1 up at half-time. I'm sure Mark Hughes couldn't believe it after the opening 35 minutes. What will he have said to his players, though, coming out for this second half?
Well, don't panic, stay calm. And Ruud van Nistelrooy walking to the bench, taking his jacket off.
Well, I'm sure Mark Hughes, more than most, knows that you never write off Manchester United. But what an opportunity this is for Rovers to complete a league double over the side from Old Trafford. Sahar twists, turns, the ball goes back from Everett towards Richardson. Emerton forcing him back, now Savage putting Brown under pressure. It's a square ball towards Neville on this right hand side, 10 yards inside his own half. A 1-2 with Ronaldo, back towards Neville. Reed comes, just gets a touch. Pedersen picks up for Rovers, finds Bentley, who's under pressure from 2 red shirts. He's trying to go away from Rio Ferdinand and then squeeze the ball through to Kucci. Again, Vidic looks a little bit unsteady, being forced back towards the corner flag, and Kucci's done well. Left by Pedersen. Bentley takes over, again goes down the left, chip forward. Bentley continued his run. Oh, another poor clearance from Vidic. Gets away with that one. Kucci's control not the best. Pedersen slides in well for Rovers on Fletcher. And it's back with the men in blue and white who are battling for absolutely everything at the moment. I think they sense that this could be a massive game in the whole context of Rovers' season.
Well, Kucci just won't leave Vidic alone. He doesn't give him a second respite, does he? And I think it's having an effect on the defender. Park as well set to come on, and he can be a nuisance.
Well, for 35 minutes Kucci was quiet, but since then he's absolutely bullied the 2 Manchester United centre-backs, hasn't he? And that is exactly what he's in the team to do. United will make a double change, I'm sure, when the ball goes out of play, and they'll bring on Ruud van Nistelrooy and Ji-Sung Park. Everett tries to play the ball forward, it comes off Emerton and it's out for a United throw on the far side. Is a change going to be made now? It is. It'll be very interesting to see who comes off. The first change is Kieran Richardson going off, Ruud van Nistelrooy coming on. I said Richardson had been effective, no surprise really that he's gone off. Van Nistelrooy, it was only a question of time before he came on. Second change, Darren Fletcher going off, Ji-Sung Park coming on, so it might be interesting to see how United rearrange this now. Is this again Wayne Rooney dropping back into midfield?
It is, it's Rooney in midfield and Park on the right, and Ronaldo moved over to the left hand side.
10 minutes gone in this second half. Rovers still lead by 3-1. Ball's back with Van der Sar. He's been a little bit unfortunate really with the goals. There's not really a great deal he could have done about them. He made a great save from Pedersen's free kick, which Bentley followed up for the first goal. The second one was a horrible error by Ferdinand. The third one, a penalty which he was sent the wrong way on. Ronaldo looks forward towards Evra. Good 1-2. Ronaldo now left hand side. Oh, the cross is woeful. It's behind and it will be a Rovers goal kick.
That's good build-up play from United, but one of those crosses that makes managers just look away in disgust.
Well, as far as Rovers are concerned, he can keep playing them in all day, can't he?
He can.
And how is that change now going to impact on Manchester United and of course on Rovers?
Well, I think Michael Gray will have his hands full because Park is speedy, is persistent. He seems quite an effective player when he was with PSV.
He's just back from injury as well. Pedersen now coming forward for Rovers, finds Bentley. 2 goals this evening for Rovers. Lays it back towards Savage and forces Gray to retreat a little bit, but possession is with Rovers at the moment, just down the left-hand side. There are 2 Rovers men on side. Savage flicks it back in field towards Bentley, strikes, and it's a hat-trick for David Bentley! And Ewood Park just cannot believe what he's seeing at the moment!
It's happy birthday, Merry Christmas, anything you want. David Bentley hat-trick, fantastic finish. Robbie Savage, credit to him for the ball through.
Well, Michael Gray chipped the ball forward. Robbie Savage played a major part in that goal, flicking the ball over the head of the defender who was Wes Brown. And David Bentley just steadied himself. They were firing the shot right-footed. He was left-hand side of the box. It was inside the far post. And 11 minutes into the second half at Ewood Park, it's Blackburn Rovers 4, Manchester United 1. And new signing David Bentley has a hat-trick.
Well, it's a wonderful finish because it was right in the corner. He just let it drop onto that right foot and it was in from the moment it left his boot. Tremendous stuff.
Well, I said it before, can you believe it? 2 goals for Rovers before today, and he's got a hat-trick in the space of, 21 minutes either side of half-time, and Rovers lead Manchester United by 4-1. Ferdinand chips it forward. I'm sure Rovers will have defending to do. Appeals at the other end for a handball against Lucas Neal. They might have had half a case there. United still trying to pile the pressure on Rovers. Evra plays it back in field to Rio Ferdinand. Receives a return pass, and now the Frenchman is coming forward towards Sahar. Great slide tackle from Andy Todd. Reed back helping him in defence as well. Neal should now clear Rovers' lines. Just a long boot upfield. Expect to see a lot of that between now and the end of the game. Bentley battling away against Wes Brown. Brown wins that one. Now left-footed, looks down the line. Forward ball which Reed helps back in field. Pedersen just right-footed, clips it forward, and it's back through with Edwin van der Sar. Well, just pinch me.
I know, I feel exactly the same way, Neil, but let's get it right. This game is not over. It's nowhere near over, even at 4-1.
Evra for United, midway inside the Rovers half, left-footed, looks forward, finds another Frenchman in Louis Sahar. Todd rises and fouls Ronaldo, left-hand side of the penalty area. It will be a Manchester United free kick. I think what we know will happen is that United are going to come out all guns blazing now.
Oh, absolutely, and that was a rash challenge by Andy, really, in a dangerous area. Maybe if they do come out and push forward, which they've got to do, maybe we can catch them at the back again, but let's just defend for the moment and just keep that concentration going.
Well, it's the biggest crowd of the season inside Ewood Park, and at the moment the Rovers fans are being royally entertained. They're holding their breath at the moment though, because United have a free kick left hand side of the penalty area. Rooney and Ronaldo are above this one. Ronaldo will leave it for Wayne Rooney. United have sent all the big men forward. It comes off the base of the wall. It was a wretched free kick from Wayne Rooney, and it's cleared out of play far side for a Manchester United throw. And to almost add to United's frustration, as Rooney went to take the throw, someone in the crowd has booted the ball about 50 yards away. The referee did indicate that he was adding a time on, so Rovers might regret that one later on, but Rooney pumps the ball forward towards Van Nistelrooy. He's offside. It will be a Rovers free kick.
Tell you what's unusual tonight, I haven't seen Sir Alex much on the touchline, and that's something you normally see when his team are not performing. That's the ultimate insult. Are you Burnley in disguise?
Well, the Rovers fans just in absolute ecstasy at the moment. Ewood Park is absolutely electric. It could be one of the greatest nights this stadium has ever seen. Cucci has been fouled by Gary Neville. The United man can't believe it, because it looked as though Cucci had actually bundled him over. It will be a Rovers free kick. Left hand side, we're just 60 minutes gone here at Ewood Park. It's Blackburn Rovers 4, yes 4, Manchester United 1. Rovers have another free kick. Savage from the left hand side will take. You can't believe that Rovers are still going forward, pressing for more goals, can you? The Welshman waiting to take. Bentley gets him back, gets himself back on side. It's a deep delivery towards the back post. It's overhit and it's behind with a Manchester United goal kick.
The adrenaline's still pumping in Robbie for that one, miles past the attackers.
Van der Sar kicks long upfield towards the United goal scorer Sahar. When if things had been different, his goal could have been flagged offside and Rovers could be 4-0 up here. He's fouled. It will be a United free kick. They'll still come forward. A short one from Ferdinand towards Evra. Tips over the top towards Rooney. The Rovers number 8, Robbie Savage, is there though, and that was a crucial defensive header. Ferdinand helps it back forward. Reid goes back towards his own goal. Great composure from Todd to find Pedersen, who just tries to help it left. Neville gets a foot in and then Park takes over. His first real touch. Rooney now miscontrols. Reid is there for Rovers. Well, he was fouled, but the referee allowed play to go on. I'm not sure what advantage there was there. Reid goes back to Friedlou, now goes long upfield towards Bentley again. Appeals that he was fouled by Vidic, who has had a quite wretched first Premiership start for Manchester United. Reid now chips again, looking to try and expose Vidic. Bentley trying to get there. He goes to ground, claiming another free kick. Again, the referee doesn't agree, and it's out for a Manchester United throw.
I'm almost speechless. You'll be glad to hear.
It's just all happened in such a short space of time, hasn't it? In the space of 21 minutes either side of half-time, we've seen 5 goals, 4 of them to Rovers. I'll tell you what could be important when you look back on this match. If Rovers do go on and win this game, how important could Friedel's save from Rooney have been? 6 minutes into the second half, that was United's chance to get back in this game. Rooney has been a little bit late on Robbie Savage, and it will be a Rovers free kick. I have to say, it's great stuff by Robbie Savage there. He's been criticised so readily in recent weeks. He immediately got back up. It was one of those where if the referee would have wanted to produce the yellow, he could quite easily have done, but Savage sprung back to his feet, immediately went over and shook Rooney's hand.
Well, that's a lesson to Ronaldo on how to behave, isn't it?
A measure of the man there, I think. United now come forward. A misplaced pass from Rovers. Ronaldo finds Evra, continues his run down the left-hand side. Torres across there for Rovers, tries to shepherd the ball out. Ronaldo's kept it in a cross goal, and Ruud van Nistelrooy has pulled one back for Manchester United. Well, that has to go down as a mistake by Andy Todd. I'm afraid he tried to shepherd the ball out. Ronaldo caught him, and after that it was the easiest of tasks to roll it across goal into the path of Ruud van Nistelrooy. 62 minutes gone at Ewood Park. It's now Rovers 4, Manchester United 2.
Well, Mark Hughes is livid with Andy Todd. I mean, it's just such a basic mistake, and it puts United right back in this game. And I said 5 minutes ago this game isn't over, because it can just change, the emphasis can change so quickly. And Andy Todd will be kicking himself. It's just, you know, put it in row Z.
Well, United might say that's a defensive mistake each now, has cost either side a goal, but that's criminal from Rovers' point of view. And the captain, Andy Todd, I think he knows as well that he shouldn't have done that. He tried to shepherd it out. He seemed to lose his footing a bit, didn't he? And that was costly. Ronaldo squaring to give Van Nistelrooy the easiest of tasks, and the Dutchman scoring his 19th goal of the season, his 17th in the Premier League. That will certainly give Manchester United encouragement, and we have plenty of time left in this game. There's about 26 minutes remaining. Sahar now on the left for United, looking to come forward. Again, he's up against Todd. Right-footed, he tries to play it in. Blocked by the Rovers captain. Emerton will now look to clear the ball. He does well. He just returns it back towards Lucas Neal, and he looks long upfield. It's 2-on-2 at the back. Bentley flicks on. Cucci trying to get in. Pull back header from Vidic. Might fall for Bentley again. Takes it past one man. Has he overrun it? Van der Sar saves at the second attempt. Well, that was the chance if it had hit it first time to get Rovers 5th and his 4th. And again, that could be an important moment in this match.
This is the most ridiculous game of football now. That should have been a goal for Rovers.
Well, again, Vidic showing that he's struggling so far, adapting to the English Premiership. It was a weak back header. Cucci followed it in, Van der Sar spilled, and then Bentley tried to take it inside Brown, and again past Van der Sar, but he just overhit his touch, and it allowed the Dutch goalkeeper to smother it, and the danger was gone. And still, they'll think, just why didn't he clip it towards goal? Because if he'd have beat the defender and goalkeeper, it was going into the unguarded net.
All I can say is just watch the highlights tonight, you won't believe it.
What a game this is at Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers 4, Manchester United 2. 65 minutes gone here at Ewood. Gray now looking to come forward for Rovers. Lovely touch by Bentley to find Morten Pedersen, left-hand side. 4 Rovers goals and he's not on the score sheet. Gray going back in field. Finds Savage, just chipped with the outside of his right foot forward. Ferdinand edge of his own penalty area, half heads away. Pedersen takes down on his chest. He might now fancy a shot, trying to get inside the box. Oh, it's flicked through towards Bentley, who's trying to get there. Challenge comes in from Vidic. It's behind for a Rovers corner.
Well, I think ever since Rovers scored the first goal tonight, they've changed from a team who seem to be struggling up front to a team that looks like they're going to score every time they go forward.
Well, I think Pedersen just saying that this ball might have had its last. He's been told to take the corner. Well, I think he's saying it's flat. But the referee says no, that's fine, and play will go on. Rovers corner from the left-hand side, which the Norwegian will take left-footed. Again, the big men go forward. Whipped in, headed away by Gary Neville. Park will pick up. He has Savage behind him. Laid off towards Sahar, who's now trying to instigate a United break. He moves away from Reed. Left-hand side is Ronaldo. Rooney and Van Nistelrooy also forward. Evra bombing on to give them support. Left-hand side, he gets there. He's faced by Todd. He goes past Andy Todd, and Andy Todd has just bundled him over. And this will be a Manchester United free kick, and it will be a yellow card for Andy Todd.
Andy just needs to step away and gather his thoughts. I think he's probably still so annoyed with himself for that mistake for United's second goal.
Well, the referee just indicating that that's a cumulative tally of fouls that has led to Andy Todd being booked. But again, it's invited United forward, and all that stemmed from a Rovers corner. It was a Manchester United break, wasn't it? Just shows how quick they get out. They can change defence to attack. United free kick, far side. About 16 yards in from the goal line, a couple of yards in from the touchline. Right-footed, Ronaldo takes into the middle, half-headed away by Cucci, falls for Evra. He in turn falls over, back towards Van Nistelrooy with a chance! And Ruud Van Nistelrooy has got Manchester United right back into this game. Midway into the second half, Rovers never properly cleared the free kick. Held back in towards the Dutchman. He's only been on the pitch for about 10 minutes, but he scored 2 goals to pull this game back, and it's now Blackburn Rovers 4, Manchester United 3.
Well, Mark Bowen immediately got up and pointed at the linesman, but you have to say Van Nistelrooy is absolutely deadly from that area.
Well, once he got in, he never looked like missing, did he? Oh, that Evra had fallen over as well. It's the back heel from Wes Brown. Ruud Van Nistelrooy is definitely onside. And Lucas Neal might be the man playing him on, but when he got in, could see the white of Brad Friedel's eyes and just laid it low down beyond his right hand, giving the Rovers goalkeeper absolutely no chance. And now we really do have a game on our hands here. Well, Rovers at 4-1 up must have thought they got this game sewn up, but they've given Manchester United a lifeline back into this match. Emerton now bursting forward, trying to get away from Ferdinand, and Evra tries a strike! Just a couple of yards wide of Van der Sar's goal, but it was a great run from Brett Emerton, just what Rovers needed to try and relieve a bit of the pressure.
Yeah,
and in the end, it wasn't too far wide.
A great burst from Brett Emerton. But that's just so frustrating for Rovers, because it was just rat-a-tat-tat, wasn't it, in that penalty box, and just broke nicely from Van Nistelrooy. He doesn't need a second chance.
Well, Bentley's got a hat-trick. Ruud Van Nistelrooy, after coming on as a substitute, he's now on a hat-trick. This ding-dong game swings another way, and at the moment it's still going Rovers' way, but Manchester United on the ascendancy. Rovers went 4-1 up 11 minutes into this second half. Since then, in the 11 minutes since, Manchester United have pulled 2 goals back to reduce the arrears. A loose pass again might let Emerton in. Ronaldo gets there after Everett helped it forward. Nelson will clear for Rovers, back out to the right hand side, and Rovers might have a break. Emerton, does he go past Brown? Brown has brought him down, and this should be at least a booking for the Manchester United man. Again, Rovers trying to break. The referee has pulled Wes Brown over, and it will be a yellow card for Wes Brown.
There's about half a dozen like schoolboys who've just run down from the seats and trying to get Wes Brown off the pitch.
Well, it's just relentless at the moment, this game. What we need is a quiet 10 minutes, don't we?
We need 19 minutes of possession. That's what we need, Neil.
Well, both managers must be tearing the hair out, some of the defending, but as a spectator it's absolutely great to watch. The one thing that I don't think everyone's not enjoying is the effect it's having on everyone's nerves. A real classic here at Ewood Park. We've seen 7 goals here, Rovers leading by 4 goals to 3. There are 19 minutes remaining at Ewood Park. Neil takes the free kick. Cucci will attack, doesn't get a head on the ball, appeals for handball against Rio Ferdinand now. And that looked like it should have been a penalty. Mark Hughes has sent a stool absolutely flying in frustration. Play goes on at the other end. It looked to be a foul against Nelson. And another big moment in the game. Well, there are just big moments after big moments, aren't there, in this match? The free kick came in. Cucci headed down and might have come off his chest. That might be the correct decision, but still, nerves so frayed here at Ewood, and perhaps Mark Hughes more than anybody, showing how desperately he wants to win this match.
Well, it isn't, as you say, it's a classic game, but I don't think the managers will look on some of the players classic tonight, but the supporters are certainly getting the money's worth.
Long throw by Neville. Sahar helps on. Nelson heads away for Rovers. Todd down to the edge of the box. Savage goes down under a challenge from Rooney. The foot's a little bit high. I think he's caught Robbie Savage. He might need a little bit of treatment. There's nothing more than that in it, and Rooney goes over to apologise, and Robbie Savage yet again just gives him a little pat and says, "No problems, Wayne." But it's one of those. It's one of those. It's just a little bit painful, isn't it? Because as he's clearing it, Rooney's tried to block it with his studs, and it's just caught Robbie Savage, I think maybe on his right foot. He will require a bit of treatment.
He's just Robbie wanted the trainer on very quickly. Looked a painful blow for that for Robbie Savage.
Oh, Van Nistelrooy has gone over to have words with Robbie Savage, and the referee in turn has pulled the Dutchman over. Like he's just saying, you know, why are you still down on the ground? But again, I'll say that Robbie Savage has probably on 2 occasions now saved Wayne Rooney a yellow card by his sportsmanship. Still though, the United fans perceive him to be the villain. But all this in terms of breaking up play and disrupting the rhythm might actually play into Rovers' hands, who lead here at Ewood Park by 4 goals to 3 against Manchester United. 17 minutes remaining, plus a few seconds. Friedel with the free kick for Rovers, just outside his penalty area. Goes long upfield towards the left-hand side, and Pedersen, or Cucci was over there. It's gone over his head and Gary Neville's. It's out for a Manchester United throw. Neville takes, infield he goes towards Wes Brown. Evra, left-hand side, being forced a little bit back and wide. The ball was bobbling up awkwardly. It wasn't a pass that he wanted from Wes Brown, and in the end it's come off the outside of his foot, and it's out for a Rovers throw.
Well, I think there have been a couple of key moments in this game in the second half. The Friedel save from Rooney when it was 3-1, and then unfortunately for Rovers, a horrid mistake from Andy Todd that made it 4-2 and just gave United that little glint. They've taken full advantage from there on in.
Well, Emerton was robbed there by Ronaldo, and he was very lucky because the Portuguese international just overran the ball, went a little bit wide, and it's gone out for a Rovers throw. But you can almost feel every time United break up a Rovers attack that the fans, there's a gasp of like, here they come again. Bentley has fouled Vidic at the other end. It will be a United free kick. David Bentley, of course, scorer of a hat-trick here for Blackburn Rovers, just a day after joining the club on a permanent basis from Arsenal. Chip ball forward from Neville. Neil takes down on his chest. Again, he's trying to come forward. There's no lack of adventure from Rovers, maybe feeling that attack is the best form of defence. Emerton now right hand side, trying to get past Evra. Whips the cross and it's a deep one. Neville is underneath that one. Oh, he misses his kick, or has he got a touch? Pedersen will keep it in for Rovers. He plays it against Gary Neville and it's gone out for a Rovers throw. We'll keep it down in that corner. How long can we keep it there for? 15 minutes?
And Fergie time, they make that 19.
Pedersen with a long throw for Rovers. Right next to the corner flag, left hand side, in front of the Blackburn end. It's long into the middle. Kucci will try and flick on. Vidic heads it back towards Pedersen. A good chance to cross. It's a deep one. Emerton rises, heads it down. It was a decent enough chance if someone had have taken a gamble on that one. Emerton now going away from goal. Savage just helps it back towards the edge of the box. Kucci trying to get there for Rovers. He chests down. I think the free kick has gone against Shevki Kucci, when maybe it could and should have gone the other way, but it's given Manchester United's favour, and immediately they get play back underway. Evra finds Rio Ferdinand. Notice how the chance of Rio have stopped. Now United are right back in this game. Evra just inside the Rovers half, again goes square towards Ferdinand. He looks forwards to Ronaldo, decides to go back instead of running at the Rovers defence. Rooney is trying to turn away from Savage and does do so. Forward ball towards Park, he gets a touch. And Zaha was waiting to pounce on that one if Brad Friedel hadn't been smartly off his line to collect from Rovers' point of view. But I say, it's so nervy, isn't it? Great game here at Ewood. Pedersen goes down the left hand side. Bentley, who's been fantastic for Rovers on the night, willingly gives chase. Went for the first time cross, he dummied right, then went left and tried to put it in with his wrong foot. It's gone behind and it will be a Manchester United goal kick.
Do you think we've seen the last of Vidic or Evra here? Or maybe neither?
Oh, it's Wes Brown of all people that's going off. I'm very surprised about that one.
I'm amazed he's coming off. Surely he must have a knock.
Well, it might be interesting to see how United reorganise here, because I would think that Rio Ferdinand might drop back, Evra maybe go left midfield, or for the moment it looks as though Silvestri will just go and play straight centre back. Van der Sar kicks long upfield. Todd wins the header. Savage just takes a touch on his chest and then pumps it forward, inviting Kucci's chase. Silvestri gets his first touch, heads it down to this near side, and Gary Neville turns away from Bentley, goes back in field to Ferdinand. Savage is only a few yards away. He's trying to go past Robbie Savage and just hits it long forward with his right foot. Rooney rises in the air, but Todd wins the header for Rovers. Savage is underneath that one. On halfway, Ferdinand takes the ball away from him and goes left towards Ronaldo. One-on-one with Neil. Emerton is trying to get back to help out his fullback. Ronaldo plays the cross in, it deflects off Lucas Neil. But thankfully for Rovers, it goes gratefully into the arms of Brad Friedel. 13 minutes remaining here at Ewood. It's still Rovers 4, Manchester United 3. Friedel kicks long upfield. Another foul against Rovers upfield. I think this time it was jumping into Vidic. United free kick, which allows them to get the ball back down, and immediately it's back underway. Evra looking crossfield now towards Van Nistelrooy. Wins the header, but it's straight to Michael Gray. He just pumps the ball upfield. Savage and Ferdinand go for that one. Pedersen plays it down, takes a touch off Ferdinand, falls for Bentley. Rovers now streaming forward. Emerton has made a good run. Bentley still in possession, holds it up, and he's then fouled by Vidic. It was a crude challenge. No need to make the tackle at all. He's just hacked at David Bentley, and this will be a yellow card, which pretty much compounds a pretty miserable afternoon for one of United's new signings.
He's not had a Premiership debut to remember, has he? I know he came on as a sub, as you say, against Liverpool late on in the game, but he's hardly impressed.
You wonder what's going on at Ewood. We've not had a goal for 10 minutes now.
Thankfully.
This game's gone boring. Yes, quite right. If we could say the same after the remaining 11 plus minutes and a bit of added time as well, we'd be very, very grateful indeed. Bentley, who's had a bit of treatment, is now very gingerly getting back to his feet, and they will walk over to the far side with the physio Dave Fever. It's a Rovers free kick. Again, they're not in a great hurry to take.
It's going to get a rousing reception from the Riverside, as I still call it.
The Rovers have this free kick. Reid is the man who will take. It's just chipped into the penalty area towards Kucci. Oh, again, Vidic had his arms all around the Rovers striker. He's taking big chances, isn't he? And he is struggling at the moment. Kucci's done a fantastic job of just rattling the United defender. United go forward. I think Zaha has been fouled by Stephen Reid, and it will be a Manchester United free kick. Again, that looked a generous decision which was given by the assistant referee on this near side. He's been very busy in this match, hasn't he? He's given quite a few, notably of course Rovers' penalty. United free kick, Bentley's back on for Rovers. Gary Neville is the man who will take this one just inside his own half, fires it towards the far side of Van Nistelrooy. Todd wins the header, Emerton chest down and he's now invited to run forward. He holds it up, Neil's made a great overlapping run. Emerton continues down the right hand side, it's just chips over the top towards Neil. Will he get there? He won't, it's out of play. Deep inside the United half though for a throw to the visitors. If you're going to put it out of play, put it out of play.
Well, Lucas
90 yards from Rovers'
just needed
goal.
the ball rolled to him there, didn't he, rather than chipped.
Considering Rovers have had a pretty hectic fixture list, great effort, and now Neil plays it forward towards Kuchu, who's inside the area. He was offside anyway, the touch was a poor one and it went behind, but if he'd just have been able to check his run there, Neil might have been able to pick him out, and that could have been a chance to seal this game. Neville though for United starts another attack from the away side. 10 minutes remaining here at Ewood Park. It's Blackburn Rovers 4, Manchester United 3. A thrilling game here. Vidic chips forward, finds Sahar, who's right hand side. Pedersen gets a touch for Rovers and puts it out of play. It'll be a Manchester United throw.
Morton getting applause from Aaron McQuainer and Jamal Johnson, who are just stood on the sidelines there for that bit of defensive work.
Neville takes a long throw into the box towards Ferdinand, who tries to help it on. Great header from Nelson, got there ahead of Sahar. It looks again as though Vidic had fouled the Rovers man David Bentley. Return, Reed lets it bounce, which is dangerous. He heads it back to Todd, who takes no chances this time defensively and hacks it up towards halfway. It's out for a Manchester United throw. You get a feeling we might be seeing quite a lot of the away side attacking Rovers in these final few minutes. Neville just being told to retreat a few yards. United captain from the right goes down the line. Sahar with a good touch down towards Rio Ferdinand, just moves it away from Savage. Neville is forward, midway inside the Rovers half. Sahar miscontrols. Savage will find Emerton. Now Rovers might have a break on. Bentley and Kuchi available. Kuchi's made a good decoy run and allowed Emerton to give the ball to Bentley on the left hand side. Emerton still going strong. Bentley though is only looking for the corner really. A couple of step overs, keeps the ball in. Again he's gone past Vidic with consummate ease, and in the end the United defender gets back up, toe pokes the ball out. It will be a Rovers throw.
Can we play it into the corners for 8 minutes?
Rovers take the throw quickly. Gray decides against that and tries to cross the ball. It's gone straight behind though, and it will be a Manchester United goal kick. Maybe that was a little bit wasteful. What do we make of this, and what is Mark Hughes thinking at the moment?
He's thinking, doesn't that clock go slowly? That's what he's thinking. I'm thinking that Rovers, although United have put a lot into this game, I'm thinking that Rovers being 4-1 up really should not concede another goal or settle for a draw, or, you know, the 3 points should be Rovers.
Bentley trying again to get past Vidic. Pedersen takes it off him and laid forward to the left hand side. Bentley and Kuchi will give chase. Van der Sar has to come outside his box, right footed. He clears upfield. It's off the outside of his foot, but it will stay in play. Pedersen helps it over the touchline. It will be a United throw. Again, you feel though if Rovers could get one of these breaks right, they really could seal this game, but there's always that threat from United at the other end. Van der Sar runs out and he's into the crowd at the moment to retrieve the ball, which is very unorthodox from the United goalkeeper, and the referee is going to have words with him. He calls Van der Sar over and just tells him that you cannot do that. Well, the Rovers crowd have been delaying at every opportunity, and I'm not sure that will help when it comes to see how much added time the referee Phil Dowd will add on. As Neville takes the throw down the line, Sahar chest down, he goes infield towards Ferdinand. He comes forward, he's got Evra left hand side, Ronaldo is wider outside him, and that's where the ball goes. Right footed, he whips it in towards the near post. It takes a touch off Andy Todd and thankfully goes straight into the arms of Brad Friedel.
I just thought Rooney with an outstretched boot there might get a flick on that. Well watched by Brad.
A long kick forward, Ferdinand helps it back upfield. Sahar is well offside, and it was pathetic to even touch that because Rooney would have been onside, had made a burst to try and go through on that one.
Well, it took the linesman a heck of a long time to put that flag up.
Still though, it's another Rovers free kick, and again I think as they let the ball go past them, a few extra seconds may well be added on. Alex Ferguson at every opportunity, and Carlos Quiroz, his assistant manager, looking at the referee and pointing to the watches. Friedel takes the free kick forward. Bentley helps it on towards Cucci. It's too far ahead of him and through to Van der Sar, who immediately bowls the ball out to Evra on the far side. Immediately under pressure he is from Emerton. Chipped down the line. If it had gone over the head of Lucas Neil, Ronaldo might have been down the left, but good header by the Australian. He's got himself on the score sheet. That looked handball against Ronaldo. Play goes on. Rooney now coming forward. Cucci does brilliantly for Rovers and he's turned away from the England man. Rooney bites back at him though, gets a touch and it goes forward towards Neville on this right hand side. Look for Park. Pedersen intercepts and Reid now finds Pedersen again. Rovers dallying on the ball and Pedersen slips and Reid strong in the challenge on Ferdinand, and then Rio Ferdinand just bundles into the back of Morten Pedersen and has now pushed him over, and as he stood on the Rovers man there, it's ridiculous from Rio Ferdinand, isn't it? That's just pure frustration, and he's now going to go into the referee's book.
Well, very much from being seen as the aggressors in recent weeks, it's been the other way around tonight.
And the referee finally calling Rio Ferdinand over. He's going to get the book out. It's just nonsense from him, wasn't it? He'd given the ball away, and you can almost see that throughout the whole of this second half, that error that gifted Rovers the lead, sent Rovers 2-1 up, has played on his mind, and he'll get booked for that and has done. So it'll be a Rovers free kick. It's great for Rovers. They're under 5 minutes remaining now here at Ewood Park. It's Blackburn Rovers 4, Manchester United 3. Rovers so close to a famous victory. Gray on halfway will take. Rovers just, I'm sure from now on, will be looking for the corners.
How can anybody leave this ground at this stage?
Well, if your nerves can't take it, it's one way of doing it. Gray with a free kick. Finally told to hurry up by the referee. Left-footed, he just chips it high in the air, looking for Cucci. Vidic comes and wins the header. That was a good header. Park down towards Ferdinand. Forward to Van Nistelrooy. He's got underneath that one. He did get a little touch, but it was comfortable for Andy Todd. And Gray now helps it forward. Out of play. It will be a Manchester United throw. Again it goes into the crowd, and Vidic hurries to take this one. It's down towards Van der Sar. Appeals for a foul throw by the Rovers crowd. The referee didn't agree. Van der Sar looks for Silvestre, one of the Manchester United substitutes. He's up towards the halfway line, just a long drilled pass forward, left-footed. Nelson heads away for Rovers. Pedersen just helps it away, and then Rio Ferdinand has gone clattering into the Rovers man, and Rio Ferdinand is going to be sent off here. A second yellow card in the space of about 90 seconds. It compounds an absolutely wretched afternoon for the England man. Well, so much for being a midfielder, Rio Ferdinand. Gifted Rovers a goal, 2 yellow cards. Rio Ferdinand heads for an early bath.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking there. He was almost the meat in a Pedersen-Savage sandwich, but he knew from the moment that Savage went to ground that he was off there.
It was just ridiculous, wasn't it? What was he thinking? He's just been so rattled by giving away Rovers' second goal. The header that went beyond his own goalkeeper, David Bentley, put it in. And then since then, he's just been mad, and he's gone in with 2 daft tackles. I mean, the first one on Pedersen, I don't think he'd have got booked for the initial offence, but it was the way he bundled the Rovers man over afterwards. And then that challenge there, it's just clattered into the back of Robbie Savage and almost took out Morten Pedersen as well.
Well, it's got Sir Alex to the touchline, but you know what I don't like about this? How many minutes are we going to add on for this?
Well, it's now Rovers against 10-man Manchester United, leading by 4 goals to 3. There are 2 minutes of added time, but I think there may well be quite a bit of added time. Well, Rovers, well, this looks worrying because Robbie Savage is down at the moment.
Well, I've just seen a replay, Neil, and it's horrific, really is.
Well, Robbie Savage holding his knee, and really worryingly for Rovers. Well, the paramedics are now on. I think he might even be putting it in a brace, a leg brace. Stretcher comes on. This is not what Rovers need. Aaron McCoyner will come on. He will certainly try and stiffen things up for Rovers at the back, try and snuff out any late dangers Manchester United have, but all this is going to add to the amount of added time that we're going to see here at Ewood Park. Well, you only hope at the moment that ridiculous challenge from Rio Ferdinand doesn't cost Rovers big time, because at the moment this does not look good for Robbie Savage.
Well, I don't know how Rio Ferdinand thought he was going to win a ball there. I really don't.
Well, it's a real shame because Savage has done so well for Rovers here this evening, hasn't he? I mean, a couple of times that he could have stayed down and got Wayne Rooney booked, but he's got himself back up. He's got on with the game. He played a huge part in David Bentley's third goal, Rovers' fourth goal, which might yet turn out to be the winner in this game. But this is a really sad sight here at Ewood Park. The Rovers midfielder Robbie Savage is being stretchered off, and you only hope this isn't as serious an injury as it first appears.
And McQuainer and Jamal coming on. I'm sure it won't have escaped Aaron's notice today that the South African coach has got sacked.
And Savage goes over the touchline down below us and straight down the tunnel. Rovers want to make this double change. Going off is the hat-trick hero for Rovers. Is he the hero? Will he be the match winner? Signed permanently for Blackburn Rovers yesterday on a 3.5-year deal. Just over 24 hours later, 3 goals could give Rovers a famous victory over Manchester United. It's a standing ovation, and quite rightly so for David Bentley. The first change is Aaron McQuainer. Oh no, Jamal Johnson actually should have come on for David Bentley. And now we're going to go through the rigmarole, because the wrong man went on, of McQuainer going on for Robbie Savage, who has already gone off.
How many minutes are we going to add on for this?
Well, we've already played 46 minutes of this second half here at Ewood. We're just waiting for the fourth official to actually put the board up. We have actually played 1 minute of added time already. 6 minutes of added time have been added, which means we still have a further 5 minutes to play.
No, I'm sorry. 4 I was expecting, not 6.
Well, I think that Savage injury has played a big part of that. Gray just helps it forward, again towards the corner. Cucci will give chase. He could do with keeping this in for Rovers. Has he done so? Oh, brilliant work by Cucci. Goes back towards Pedersen. He's now looking just for the corner. Goes one way. Robbed of the ball by Vidic, but again it falls for the Rovers man. Now he's going for the corner. Park gets back to rob him of the ball, and he finds Rooney. Rooney tries to go past Gray inside the penalty area. Johnson tries to get there. A hurried clearance by Mikel Silvestri, and it's out for a Rovers throw. And this is exactly where Rovers want the ball to be. Surely there can't be another twist in this game. So much has happened. For 35 minutes, very little happened, but since then it's just been absolutely non-stop. The ball goes forward. Reed gets a touch. Nelson just helps it back down the left-hand side. Vidic under pressure goes back, and it's a decent header this time. Finds Edwin van der Sar. 10-man Manchester United have 4 minutes to try and get a late equaliser in this game. An equaliser that will take it to 4-4. Park goes forward towards Van Nistelrooy. He goes to ground appealing for a free kick on Ryan Nelson. The referee saw straight through that from the Dutchman. And thankfully for Rovers, the pass went straight through to Brad Friedel.
Well, that was appalling from Van Nistelrooy.
McQuainer gets his first touch and helps the ball out to the Rovers right-hand side. Johnson gives chase. Evra just hacks it upfield. Again, Van Nistelrooy will go for that one. Good chest down by Andy Todd. Neil under pressure. Again, just returns it down the right-hand side. Says to the substitute Johnson, just go and chase that one. Silvestri will take the throw down to Ji-Sung Park. United with just 10 men, of course, now. Silvestri goes back in field, returns it towards Van der Sar on his right foot. Johnson willingly gives chase. Van der Sar with a clearance, picked up by Emerton. Van der Sar was out of goal. The Rovers crowd urged Emerton to shoot, but again he only has eyes for that corner flag, and he's going down the right hand side. Steps away from one man, again from another. Still going Emerton. Brilliant run. This could seal the game for Rovers. There's good options to put it back towards Cucci. It's deflected and it's wide of goal. In fact, he's missed. It's not even deflected. That was the chance for Rovers to seal this game. Great work by Emerton. Cucci, in all honesty, has missed a bit of a sitter. Still play goes on, and we've got 3.5 minutes or 2.5 minutes remaining at Ewood Park. 2.5 minutes of added time. Sahar goes in field. Great touch from McQuainer. Park can't control that one, and Cucci trying to bundle his way forward. Silvestri gets a touch. McQuainer and Pedersen getting each other's way, but Reed is there for Rovers. Rovers having the extra man, which at the moment looks like paying dividends. Just chip forward towards Johnson. Vidic chest down towards Van der Sar, who throws it. Good 20 yards outside his area and just comes forward. Now it's down. Reid might fancy the shot from inside his own half. Hits it outside of the right foot. Is it on target? It might well have been, but Van der Sar had recovered back towards goal to collect. He throws it out again. It's just crazy here at Ewood Park. Rovers leading by 4 goals to 3. United looking to get the equaliser. Ronaldo lays it right towards Gary Neville. Closed down by Pedersen. Neville goes infield towards Park. Johnson trying to get back of him. Chip ball towards the back post. Neil heads away. Cucci gives chase for Rovers. Silvestre again helps it forward. Gray up over the halfway line. Every man back for Rovers. They're being urged to come forward by Mark Hughes and Mark Bowen. Not allow United to impose some pressure on us. Silvestre now left-footed, drills it upfield towards Sahar. Nelson comes across. Todd clears upfield for Rovers, and out of play it will be United throw. Just over 60 seconds remaining here at Ewood Park. Neville is the man who will take. He has to go back. Vidic controls. Goes again back to Silvestre. Evra will pick up, not close down. There's plenty of room for him to come forward into. Ronaldo takes forward. Again Evra comes. He puts the cross in left-footed. Oh, too far ahead of the United strikers. And it's straight through to Brad Friedel, and respite for Rovers. He throws it out to Gray, who comes in field and now looks forward. He might get caught here unless he's careful. Todd has got Sahar for company, and Sahar slides in. Falls for Rovers in Neil. He takes no chances. The long boot upfield. Silvestre heads high in the air. Emerton challenges. Falls for Rovers. Johnson helps on. Cucci trying to get there. Van der Sar's edge of the penalty area. Might fall for Rovers and Cucci. Will he look for the corner flag? He will do if he's got any sense. Faced by Silvestre, now got Evra for company. Evra gets a touch, and it's a foul by Cucci. It's a Manchester United free kick, but it's deep inside the Manchester United half. How long is left in this game? Well, the answer is 10 seconds of added time. It's all eyes now on the referee, Phil Dowd. Rovers seconds away from a famous victory. The ball's played to Neville on this right-hand side. Maybe one last chance for United. It's played upfield. The referee puts the whistle to his lips, and Rovers have recorded a famous victory over Manchester United. It's been a wonderful game at Ewood Park, and Rovers have won it by 4 goals to 3. For 35 minutes it was a quiet game, but Bentley gave Rovers the lead. 2 minutes later Sahar equalised, only for Bentley to re-give Rovers the lead, and then a Lucas Neal penalty to send Rovers 3-1 in at half-time. Bentley completed a hat-trick on 56 minutes to put Rovers 4-1 up. It looked as though the game was over, but Van Nistelrooy came in as a substitute, and 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes pulled it back to 4-3. United threatened but could never get past Brad Friedel. With just a couple of minutes remaining, Rio Ferdinand was sent off for his second bookable offence. Robbie Savage was stretchered off from the tackle that earned Rio his second booking. Rovers have held on here though. It's a huge victory after the last week that Rovers have had, and it's Rovers' first league double over Manchester United for 75 years. It's finished at Ewood Park after an outstanding match. Blackburn Rovers 4, Manchester United 3.